Shalom and greetings in the matchless name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It's a privilege to speak to you and be the voice of the Lord in these times where chaos and dilemma is surrounding people in all the ways. But the Bible is so clear according to book of Psalm chapter number 62 verse number 8. It says, trust in Him at all times. Trust Him in your good times, trust Him in your bad times, trust Him in all the times. You people, pour out your heart before Him. God is a refuge for us. Remember, the Lord who has dealt with His people even in the past, even with you, He has dealt with you. He is your refuge. It doesn't matter what you're going through, doesn't matter what is happening around you. A lot of people, because of the chaos right now, because of the trouble that is going on all around, a lot of people have just come to a conclusion. Even some people, those who prophesied that this 2020 will be a very good year, people are turning their statements, looking at the present state of the world, how the world is deteriorating. They have come to a conclusion that this year is not going to go good. But I assure you, in the name of our Savior Jesus Christ, that God is same yesterday, today, and forever. What He has promised to His children, He will do it. Nothing, absolutely no plague, no disease, no disaster can change the plan of God. This is something that we see has come upon people because of people's own choices. People have learned to make themselves as their source. People have forgotten to see God as their ultimate source. You see, when you deny Him to be your source, when you do not want to take His support, you don't want to take His help, these things have to come, these things have to fall. So you see, this is not the first time that Christians are going through such a time such as now. Even in the Bible, God has already helped His people in the times of famine. The Lord has helped His people in the time of plagues. The Lord has helped His people in the time of great disaster. He has always stretched forth His hand. Those who have trusted Him in the times of need, He has pulled them out of the pits. He has pulled them out of every situation they had been going through. Only thing is, we must show our trust in God. Let us not throw away our hope. Let us not throw away our trust in God, because He is our refuge. You see, children of God, when they were going through seasons, the angel of death came for all. It came for all. These sicknesses, disease and disaster and famine came for all. But the Lord Almighty, in His divine wisdom, had a plan, ultimate plan to save His people. He had a divine plan to bring them out of the disaster they were going through. In the same way, you see how it happens. The door the Lord opens for His people. I want to speak into your life right now that the door the Lord has opened for you, no man can shut. And the doors that He has opened for you, the Lord will not allow your enemies to come through the same way. The Lord Almighty, who we serve, He will not allow your adversary to chase you in this season. 2020 is a year of leap. The Lord will give you a leap. You see what we are seeing at this state. We are seeing in these times such as now, the Lord is doing something. The Spirit of the Lord is working upon our natural realm. The Lord is working on our physical realm. The Lord is working in our spiritual life, because now as we are coming out of our own selves, we are coming out of our own self-made kingdom, or we are coming out of our own visions and dreams. We are aligning with the dreams and visions of God. God has to lead those dreams. God has to lead those visions according to His plan and His purposes. God does not require our suggestions. God does not require our expert advices to Him how He should lead. We have to simply align with Him. As I told you, children of God also were going through a time of wilderness. They were also going through the time when they were promised that the promised land is kept for you. You see, when this disease has come all over the nation, the times of disaster have come all over the nation. Many prophecies that were spoken into your life, many words that were given to you. You must be thinking, now this is the end. There is no way out of this. Now it seems like the world is coming to an end. Let me tell you, the Lord who gives the promises, the Lord who promises to us, He is also capable enough of keeping those promises. This is not end. This is not yet finished. The Lord, I want to speak to you, the Lord is not yet finished with you. The Lord has not completed what He promised to you yet, and He will not let everything finish until you enjoy the promises that He made to you. You see, the children of God, when they were going through a time of need, they recently came out of the plague season. They came out of slavery for so many years. Now the Lord has to lead them into the promises. You see, one of the dangerous prayers that we can ever pray is, the Lord, lead me according to your will. Yes, this is a very, very dangerous prayer that you can make. Lord, lead me into your will. Because once He begins to lead you into His will, you have to get rid of your will. You have to get rid of your stubbornness. You have to get rid of yourself. You have to learn to die to yourself and live unto God. You see, when they were going through the time of wilderness, a lot of people take it as a dry season. This is not your dry season. When you're sitting at home, you're in fact sharing time with your family. You have been housebound, locked down all over, but this is not the end. The best is yet to come. The Lord who promised to you, He is about to show up in a bigger way in some time. It's just a matter of time. But what should we do in this time? It feels like this is a wilderness season. It feels like there is no end. It feels like it's taking too long. Yes, it is taking. But what does the Lord do in this season? What the Lord is trying to do? You see, in book of Deuteronomy, when you see chapter number 29 and verse number 5, you will read that the Lord is talking to the children of Israel. He says, and I have led you 40 years in wilderness. I have led you 40 years in wilderness. Your clothes have not worn out, and your sandals have not worn out of your feet. You see, no sickness, no disease. The Lord, you see, God gave them what they needed in the wilderness. What is wilderness all about? If you see, wilderness means midbar. It's a Hebrew word, midbar, which means arrangement, balance, and harmony. Remember this: arrangement, balance, and harmony. This time that feels like wilderness, this time that feels like it's not going to work for me, what God has promised me is not going to happen. But you see, in this time when you're locked down at home, you don't know how long it will take. You don't know which way to go. You don't know who is going to come and help you. You don't know where the provision is going to come. In this time, the Lord will bring balance into our lives. The Lord will bring right arrangement into our lives. Because previous to this, you see, children of Israel, they were slaves. They did not know how to behave. They did not know how to enjoy family time because they were slaves. They did not know how to be around their children. They did not know how to be good parents. They did not know how to be good brothers and sisters. They did not know how to be good neighbors. When you see Moses went to visit, he visited the colony of Hebrews. He saw two Hebrews fighting with each other. They were fighting with each other. You see, this time when we go through the season of wilderness, in this time when we are locked down at home, it's not the problem what we are going to do after this. The thought that should be taken right now is what we are doing in this season, how we are spending our time, what we are doing in this season. Are we allowing God to give us His arrangement? Are we allowing God to bring His balance into our life? Are we allowing God to bring harmony? I believe this time we all must use to bring harmony into ourselves. We must bring stability into ourselves. We must bring arrangement. We bring order into ourselves, because wilderness is not just a dry land. In this time, the Lord will discipline His people in Israel. This time the Lord was dealing with the Israelites in His love and compassion by providing everything, but the Lord would not take them to the land that He promised them until they were arranged, until they were synchronized with each other, until they were aligning with each other, until they were enjoying the culture that the Lord was wanting for them to enjoy. This is what the Lord is doing with us. This is what the Lord is doing with us. So many people are saying that this is going to be a bad year. I rebuke them. I rebuke even your thoughts that come and tell you that this is not going to be a nice year. This is going to be an amazing year. This is going to be a year that you have never imagined in your life. This is your holiday time. This is your time of refreshment. This is your time to back off and allow God to bring His arrangement, His power in work, His love into us, His harmony into us, His order into us. Because when we are walking in the plans and purposes of God, we cannot live like wild animals. We cannot have our unorganized plans. We cannot have life in disorder. In this time when we are locked down, let us allow God to bring His arrangement into us, because wilderness means arrangement, midbar, it means arrangement, balance and harmony. Enjoy your family, be with your family, enjoy this moment. Don't allow the devil to steal your time. Don't allow the devil to take over your tongue with the murmuring. Don't allow devil to allow you to doubt God. Don't allow devil to make you feel nervous and broken and discouraged at this moment, because this is not your time to be broken, discouraged or anything. This is your time to rise up. This is our time to wake up. This is our time to realign ourselves to God. This is the time to walk with Him as never before. This is the time to listen to Him. This is the time to trust in God for rearrangement in our lives. Because what He's about to do next, our old man cannot handle. Listen to this. What the Lord is about to do in this next season, our old person cannot do. Our old person cannot handle that glory. Our old person cannot handle that grace that is about to hit our lives. I prophesy upon your life that you will allow God to bring balance, so that you see greater glory manifesting in your life. You see greater grace coming in your life, because that's what is the plan of God. And your God who you serve, He's expert blessing. He's expert in blessing His people in famine. He's expert in blessing His people when everything broken down. He's expert in blessing His people when plague was all around. It is going on all over the world, but this is wake up time for you and I. This is a wake up season for you and I. This is a time where He wants to bring balance. He wants to bring harmony. He wants to bring His arrangement into us. Shalom. Take your courage in God. Trust in Him. He's the same God who took care of Israelites. He's the same God who will look after you. He's the same God who will look after me. Let us not throw away our confidence in God. This is the time to trust in Him, because He's our refuge and a strong tower. We walk in it and we are safe forever.